Welcome back to the Lift as You Rise Emotional Intelligence Show, a show where we help you grow through what you go through. Today, I've got one of the most incredibly influential philanthropists in the emotional intelligence world. We've got Moreboys today. Moreboys is an advocate. He's also the director of the Great Hope Funeral Services. He's also a CEO of the Munetsi Financial Solutions. He's got so many hats. I'm going to get you to tell us more about what you do. Who is Moreboys?
Thank you very much for the warm invitation. I'm excited to be part of this show. I think you have explained everything that I do. A command that we started operating in 2020. Yeah. Okay. So the Great Hope specialized more on the funeral repatriations and more by sending the bodies from South Africa to Zimbabwe, Malawi, Zambia, Lesotho, Swaziland. That's the Great Hope.
Wow. Thank you, Moreboys. The reason I really wanted you to be on this show is the nature of the funeral services that you offer. There's a lot of emotional intelligence involved in your job. How do you do that? Helping people who are grieving.
Our motto, our theme is we are saved to serve.
Yes.
Yeah. Some of these words we shouldn't take them literally, but they have to be practical. I also want to go back to how we started this business.
Yes.
The Great Hope or the Munetsi Funeral Service.
Yes.
In 2016, one of my friends was shot. You met those guys in Cape Town, the scholars and so on. And then they shot him and they took everything from him. And during that time, it was very difficult for us to raise the money to send the body to Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Yeah. In that time, we didn't have any idea what is the requirement, what are the procedures. So we had to phone the police and to explain to them everything. That's when the police said, okay, we're going to take this body to the forensics and you guys, you must organize your undertaker who is going to assist you. And we were very young at that time and we didn't know what to do and so on.
How old were you, if I may interrupt?
2006.
Or is it too sensitive to ask?
maybe I was around 25.
Oh, really?
Or 26. I'm not
That's
sure.
Very young.
Yeah, but it was something very difficult. And to make things worse, we're young.
Yes.
And we're staying about in a shack, 5 of us.
Oh dear.
6. And then the next thing, one of our friends has passed away and we didn't know exactly what to do. That's when I started to get some knowledge. I went to the embassy, they explained these are the things that we need to do and so on. And later on, we started to hear many stories about people who were killed in that area and so on. So that was around 2006. But it's something that, so during that time I thought maybe I should start something that I can help my fellow brothers and sisters. But unfortunately, I didn't know what to do, the resources, the qualifications, and so on.
So you hadn't started your business that time, your company?
Yes, 2006. Then I have to wait for 10 years or 11 years.
Oh, wow.
But yes, for me to start.
Yeah.
So this is what happened. So after that incident, during that time, I was working in the construction as a general labor and so on. Yes. So I had to look for another job. One thing that I wanted in South Africa was to empower myself. Wow. And going to South Africa, to me, it was a privilege or something that is to change my life. I didn't want to blame my parents. I didn't want to blame my background. So the time I went to South Africa, I said, Lord, you must help me. and I want to change the lives of people and so
Wow.
on. So it took me almost 11 years for me to be involved in the funeral business
On a professional level.
on a professional level.
Yeah.
So it happened that after 11 years, I was working now, selling policies. Now I was working for insurance companies and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the days I just thought, guys, it's time for me to start something.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did some inquiries. What are the requirements to open insurance company in South Africa and so on and so on. Then after gathering all the information, I contacted one of my friends who was a CA,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, my brother, this is an opportunity for us to start business. Then he said, Mr. Munetsi, this is a brilliant idea. Let's do it. I'm going to help you with financial assistance and so on and so on.
Yeah.
But you know, in life, you meet those people
Yes.
who always promise you and say, we're going to do this.
Yes.
Suddenly, they just...
They're gone.
Yes, and you can't keep on phoning the same person.
Yes.
But what he did is, after about 6 or 7 months, after I'd already given up, he said, this project is not going to help me. Then I received a call from another guy, and he introduced me to me, Mr. Munetsi, are you Moreboys? Then I said, yes. I got your number from this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He said you've gotten a plan or idea of starting insurance business or funeral company to help Zimbabweans in South Africa. Then I said, yes. Then he said, I'm also planning that. I spoke to this guy, so he introduced me to you. So let's meet and let's discuss about this. To me, that was the revelation.
Wow.
For me to...
That was the light bulb moment where you
Yes.
actually rediscover yourself.
Yes,
in that
imagine
field.
that something that I thought 10 years back, and then something's now coming up. Then I didn't refuse to meet him. We met, and then we discussed. He told me, Mr. Munetsi, let's do this.
Oh.
Let's start working together and let's plan.
Oh, that's nice. What a destiny changer.
Yes, yes, yes. But that time, yes, we registered the company and we started operating and so on and so
Yes.
on. But unfortunately, after working with them for about 5 years, 6 years, I decided to quit. And
Which is good because you decided to work by yourself. Is that
yes,
right?
yes, that has been my dream, that I want to start something on my own.
on my own.
Yes.
Wow, that's great. What's amazing about your response, Moreboys, is with this emotional intelligence show,
Yes.
you start off with getting in touch with yourself.
Yeah.
When you get in touch with yourself, you sort of know what you want to do. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you know what you want to do in life. So a lot of people have that, but they don't do anything about it. But you actually got to that stage, but you didn't stop.
Yes.
You went on to reach out to what was in alignment with those goals and with those thoughts. And right now we're talking about it now, and it's quite motivating because there is a lot of people who were probably at that stage.
Yes.
And what I also like, Moreboys, is whatever situation you went through that time, you grew through what you went through. So one of our themes is you grow through what you go through.
Yes.
So you went through that incident with your friend being shot, and then from that it motivated you to start something amazing. And right now, I don't want to lie to you, there is nothing as fulfilling as helping people who are grieving. I'm a product of grief myself, and I know how exactly it feels when you have something who just meets you at the point of need. Let's go to your motto, being saved to serve. That's so powerful.
Okay. So when I say I'm saved to serve, I mean it.
Right.
Yeah. Around 2007 or 2008, I was working in the construction industry in South Africa. I was just a general labor. In Shona, you say Daka boy.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the job was very difficult.
Yeah.
I don't want to lie to you. If you're in Cape Town, the place where I was staying in.
Oh, so you're from Cape Town?
No, but now I'm from Joburg.
Okay.
I'm now
yes.
staying in Sandton in Johannesburg.
That's in South Africa. Yes,
South
thank
Africa.
you. Yes.
Yes, yes. So that time I was staying in a location called Kailicha. I think in South Africa, in terms of crime, it's a location whereby there's high rate of crime, especially cases of murder. Yeah, it's very, very dangerous. So I was staying in that location. It's not that I didn't want to stay to other better places, but financially I was struggling. Things were very difficult for me, so I decided to stay in that location, and we're sharing one room. It was myself, my late friend Kumisai, John, and my other brother. And things were tough for us, I don't want to lie to you.
Yes.
Yeah. So I went to work as a normal day. Fine, everything was good. I came back. So there was a church program that was taking place in our area. So we didn't want to cook because it was going to take time for us to.
You're going to miss church.
I was going to miss the church.
Yes.
So it was my turn that day that I'm supposed to prepare the supper.
Yeah.
So I just went to the shops. Okay. So I had to go to the shops to buy bread and other stuff. But because the place that we're staying, it was very dangerous.
Oh.
Yeah, we could hear during the night.
When you say dangerous, what do you mean?
In terms of crime.
All right.
We could hear even midnight gunshots.
Oh dear.
Yes, and they were killing each other very bad in that area.
Wow.
So for you to go outside the house in the night, you have to go with someone.
Right.
The reason why you have to go with someone, one, maybe for security, this guy can protect you.
At least there's a witness, yeah.
Yes, secondly, if something happens, you come and tell other family member guys that no, something happened to mom, maybe it's shot and so on. So one of my friends was supposed to accompany me to the shops. But then unfortunately, the time that we were leaving the gate, he just told me, no, I just want to go to the bathroom, I'll follow you. Then because of time, because I wanted to be at the shops very early so that I can come back early and go to the church. Then I went by myself, went to the garage, bought bread. Actually, we're going to eat this after church.
Yes.
Anyway, so when I was coming back, I just saw a few guys that were approaching me. And I was a bit surprised about these guys and so on. But I also had confidence that that maybe those are just ordinary people. And then they started, when they were approaching me, when they were close to me, that's when they all pointed. That's when they pointed their guns on me, on my head. And to me, that was the first experience whereby you see someone pointing a gun direct to you. Then they started fighting with me, assaulting me, and so on.
Oh dear.
Yes. And
so they pointed a gun at you?
Yes.
Gosh, how did you feel? Let's stop there. How did you feel at that point?
To be honest, I felt that was the end of my life.
Wow.
If it was one gun, I would accept it. There were almost 10 guys.
Oh dear.
And about 6-7 of them, they were holding guns, pointing at me. So what I remember is that because there were these small young boys, because I'm a tall person,
yes,
I tried to, I'm fighting with them. I could see they were moving backwards.
Oh dear.
Yes.
How did you fight with 10 guys?
I can tell you, some of them were carrying the stones.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow,
so they started to throw the stones on me now.
Yeah.
Then because of there were too many.
Yes.
Yeah. At that time during that time, because of the way that they were throwing the stones to me, within few minutes or immediately, but the first time they were throwing the stones on my head, yeah, I could feel the pain, but it was not really something that, because
you just imagined yourself dead.
But what I remember is that I was screaming.
Yes.
Asking for help from people.
Yes.
And to my surprise, but it's common in South Africa.
Where was the other boy? The one that was supposed
no,
he hadn't reached home?
No.
Dear.
Yes. So what happened is that guy who said he wanted some time also to go to the bath, whatever.
Yes.
He went back inside the house, and the guys asked him, but you are back already, and where is Mo? And then he said, no, I didn't see him. I checked out. Then they said, but you can't come back. You know, this place is what? It's very dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah, so you should make a plan now. Go back and check him. Because everyone was worried. Now you can't come back. You left the house, two of you.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden.
You're back by yourself.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Then he went back again to look for me. Then he came back. And these guys, they became very worried now and said, no. Thinks there's something wrong.
Yes.
Yes. So according to them, they decided to go to the to check the direction that I normally use when I'm going to the shops. But they didn't.
Okay.
Yes, but they didn't find me. Then they thought, maybe went to another shops. They couldn't find me.
Yes.
So on my side, during that time, those guys now, because they managed to overpower me. I was falling. I was already on the ground. Because they were throwing stones for me, others kicking me. But what I remember is that I was crying for help. And people were passing by me.
Oh, really? Doing nothing about it?
They were scared because remember these guys were holding the guns.
Yeah.
And it's common in South Africa.
So it happens, daylight robbery like that.
But it was around past
through and they don't do anything about it.
It's something that is common in South Africa. You don't help someone. You just have to continue with your journey. You just have to ignore. You don't have to even to pay attention. You can't even look. You just have to proceed.
Even if you know the person?
You can't do anything because the next thing they can pull the gun and shoot you. And most of the people have encountered that in their lives, so they really know.
Yeah.
So it happened that I would manage to. I was down, but I could gain strength so that I tried to run away. The time that I stood up, they threw the stones again on me. But some of them, they started to lose interest because I handed over everything they wanted from me.
So you had given them everything?
When they approached me, they said, give us phone. Then I said, I don't have phone. I was not going to be a stupid person to carry a phone in that area.
Oh, right. So you didn't carry it?
You
generally didn't have it on?
Yes, yes. No phone. Money. The money that I didn't have any money with me.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. It was bread, 500 grams of sugar. That's what I remember. They took that from me.
Oh,
everything.
Dear. Yeah.
So after a distance, maybe about 30, 40, 50 meters, that's when they started to shoot at me.
They actually shot you?
Yes. So what happened, the first bullet, it just passed, I went through. I didn't hear anything, but I suspected. I was traumatized. Remember, they were throwing the stone, and I was bleeding from my mouth, and yeah. The first bullet just went. I didn't hear anything. But when they sent the second one, I felt it.
Also, it missed you. The first one missed you?
No, it didn't miss me. It went throughout my body, yes.
As in cutting through your body?
Yes.
And then, oh dear.
Yes. So, but the second one, I felt it because I felt the body was having now the blood.
Pouring out.
Pouring out. Yes, heavy. And then when I looked now, that's when I realized that those guys had shot.
You had been shot?
Yes.
Yes.
Then I saw the first one. That's when I saw the third one. The time that I was too busy checking this, that's when I saw also the next place is also.
So they had an intention to kill you, basically.
Yes. So they I had 3 gunshot wounds, and I still have them even today. So that time, I managed to wake up. Was the second bullet, that's what I said, it was heavy on me. I could feel that something wrong with me. And I continued to cry for help. Guys, please help me.
Yes.
But no one was interested.
Yeah, and no one was going to be interested anyway. Yeah.
Then I managed, the good thing that I want to thank God that I managed to survive because I was closer to a clinic. So I managed to reach the clinic.
Who took you to the clinic?
No, myself.
Really?
Yes.
Did you crawl down to the clinic?
I was no longer able to walk because I had to crawl for me to reach.
So it was close enough for you to do that?
It happened, I think, from the place where, I think it was from the side train station to the clinic, I think it was about 150 meters.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fairly practical.
Yes. So when I arrived there, that's when the security guard, I think they hit the gunshot when they put me on the wheelchair. And then, that's when I was admitted.
So is that where the saving aspect came?
Okay.
As in, I was saved from that incident?
After that, I was in Grooteske Hospital for a month. I was in ICU. And I remember that time
Did you have family in South Africa? My
brother had just arrived in South Africa, but he was still new. I think it was his first week or 3 or 4 days for him. And the message that went to Zimbabwe because of my condition, they said no, the guy is normal, because I was in the ICU. And
with 3 gunshots. I mean,
yes.
Literally a miracle,
it was tough. It was tough. I don't know. Like, the pain was too much. The pain was too much. So when I said I'm safe to save, because God has allowed me to resurrect. Because to me,
oh dear, that's so powerful. As in, wow, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yes. So
as in, reborn.
Yes. So God gave me another chance to live so that I can save the community. I've seen the hand of God. God will be very disappointed to see me living in for what He's done for me. So I'm saved
to serve
the world.
Wow. More boys. So this is powerful.
So
this is beyond powerful.
So now, if I have to look at the industry that I am now, these are the kind, God was preparing me.
Wow.
With all the pain that I went through.
Yes.
There's a time when I was in the hospital, I said, Lord, it's better for you to take my life.
Is that when you started being a Christian? Sorry to interrupt.
No, I was a Christian, but I was not strong.
As strong as you became.
Remember when you're boys, when they arrive in a new country, there's excitement. No one asks you any question. You're looking forward. You're doing some funny things. So now God was preparing me for me to save the community, because the time that I was in hospital, the pain was too much. The ward that I was, it's only for people with gunshot wounds. People would cry midnight. It was tough, but I managed to survive. So now, in my line of business, I deal with people with lost brothers and sisters.
I'm going through what you went through.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so powerful, more boys. As you were talking about it, you reminded me of what is called the parable of the potter. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Yes.
Like the potter, when he's trying to prepare the, like the pottery, like the fine cups that we have now, looking so pretty.
Yes.
For it to be beautiful as it is, it has to be subjected to intense heat. And that heat is so intense that the ones that are not meant to survive, they break at that point. But the ones which finally makes it become so fine and refined. And guess what? They can withstand any heat that approaches them.
Yes, true.
Like if I boil water and put it in here, the cup is not going to be, it can withstand it because of the heat it was subjected to.
Of course.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm saved
to serve.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm so excited, more boys, because you're a perfect person for this show.
Yeah.
The motto and the thing is you grow through what you go through.
True.
And through what you went through.
Yes.
You grew and you developed. And now you're standing here. There's a lot of people right now. You might be going through the darkest phases of your life. But what message More Boys has for today is sometimes some of the best dreams are born from the darkest moments of your life. So it's always the mindset which helps you. Because instead of dwelling on the negative and feeling sorry for yourself.
Yes.
It's always good to have that sense of hope, that sense of gratitude towards the fact that you've survived. Because I can imagine another person would have gone through what you went through. Up to now, they'll be like, you know what? God is so cruel, he subjected me to this. And not realizing that actually you survived. Some people did not. And I'm sure the clients you help now are the people who were not as lucky as you were.
Of course.
And how does it feel when you're dealing with situations and people who are grieving and with those grief emotions? How do you manage that?
It's very difficult to be honest. The job that I do, I'm not qualified, but God
Qualifies you.
Of course.
Wow.
That's what I can simply say. I'll just give you an example because okay, I'll give you an example. Last year in November, I sent 7 bodies
Oh dear.
to Zimbabwe. One family. They were perished in an accident.
One family, 7 members.
I can tell you, it was not easy at all. It was not easy at all. It was in December, and the family, they were going to for a Christmas. So they would drive. They were all in one car. Yeah. And the sad part is that the husband who was driving the car was involved in an accident 2 months back before he passed away.
Yeah.
And then he was actually using the crutches, and he was not really fine. But he just said, no, this is Christmas holiday. I need to take my family to Zimbabwe.
Yes.
So what they did is they sent the first 2 kids, they sent them with those malaichas and so on.
What are malaichas?
Malaichas are those people who provide transport, cheap transport, to carry people from South Africa to Zimbabwe.
Yes, yes.
So the 2 daughters, they went in advance. So now the other 7 family members, they were following them.
Yeah.
They were involved in an accident.
Oh dear.
And 7 of them perished. It was one of the challenging scenarios or situations for me. That's when I said, Lord, I need your assistance.
Yes.
For some of them, they were undocumented and they were
like illegal citizens in South Africa.
Immigrants, yes.
And yet you have to be transporting them.
I have to transport
and deal
them
with those authorities who ask for those.
You know, sometimes I went to remove the bodies from the government hospital. When you see some bodies, there are no heads. Small children with big injuries. Yeah, that thing, it really affected me, to be honest. I've removed many bodies from the hospitals because before the company, like now, Great Hope is a big company now. We've got more than...
It is really Great Hope.
Permanent staff,
that's hope.
maybe permanent staff, it's about 50, 60, 50, 60.
Okay.
As field agents, there are maybe 100 or 50, 60. I don't really check on the statistics.
Yes, but...
I used to do those things. So just removing 7 bodies from hospital and taking them to our parlor and to start the entire process is not easy at all. Family members would ask me what happened, we need explanation, help us, and so on. And also comforting them. You know, sometimes it's difficult just to say to a human being, I'm very sorry, or with what has happened.
Sorry is not going to bring them back.
It's not going to bring them back. It's not going to bring them back at all.
So how do you deal with that?
Hey, I can simply say that I'm saved to save.
Wow.
Some situations, God Himself has to reveal Himself to the people, to the family members.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very powerful.
So those 7 bodies, it was really challenging. The sad part was when those bodies, loading 7 bodies from our parlor, putting them in different vehicles, and even taking them to Zimbabwe. And
were you literally there when that happened, or did your workers do it?
Okay, to send them to Zimbabwe, it was my staff. I didn't drive to Zimbabwe.
Yes.
But during the entire process, it was myself.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So I'll give you some of examples of
Yes.
situations that I've encountered. There's another boat when I also repatriated. It was the wife had a problem with the husband because the husband had dumped the family. Yes. So his wife was very angry. I don't know exactly what happened, but she decided to take a hammer and hit the first child in the head. The child died on the spot, and she did again.
Wait.
Yes.
What happened? This woman
Yes.
was grieving,
Yes.
and in that state of anger,
With the
she
husband.
killed.
Yes, the first child, the second one, and she used a big hammer. And then the next thing, she just went and threw herself into an incoming traffic car vehicle. So I also had to repatriate those 3 bodies. And that scenario, families were fighting among themselves from the wife side, husband.
And you had to go as the professional
Yes,
and deal
to
with it.
bring
calmly
all the
and-
families
yes.
together and say, brothers and sisters, I know the pain and so on, but we still have to understand that we are God's children. So it's not easy at
It's
all.
not.
Yeah,
It's
considering
not,
that
honestly.
some of the jobs that we do, maybe sometimes we need professional help, counseling and so on, so that
Right.
we'll be able to deal with situations. But I thank God that He always gives me the strength so that
He saved you to serve.
To
so
serve
He's
them.
giving you the power
Yes.
and the strength and the courage. It's the Holy Spirit.
Yes, of course.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
But one thing that I like about my job is that the clients, they respect our company, our organization.
No, I noticed
Yeah.
because I'm a great fan of you,
Yes.
and with 73,000 followers
Yeah.
following your page, I mean, it says something about the impact you're making within the community, and it is Great Hope.
Yeah.
Yes.
So our strategy, how we manage our company to be the leading repatriation company in South Africa at the moment, our support comes from the grassroots.
Right.
We've got a very good relationship with all sectors. I can tell you, if I go to the Zimbabwe consulate, the consular general, the officials, they respect the Great Hope. If I go to churches, the pastors, they said, Mr. Munetsi, you want to do the job. If I meet professionals in Senten where I stay, they always say, if there's any funeral, give it to Mr. Munetsi, give it to Great Hope. To ordinary citizens, like I think if you check on our videos, we remove bodies to places that are very dangerous. Places like Hebrew, like midnight, they'll call us and say, Ish, there's a funeral here, someone has just passed away, can you come and remove the body? I can tell you, there's no one in South Africa would go now in Hebrew, because in Hebrew, that is the epicenter of crime in Johannesburg.
That's such a vocation, as in it's such a purpose-filled life, as in you're actually living your life according to the purpose,
Of course.
which is coming from the Almighty Himself, I think.
I can tell you that even an ordinary person in South Africa who stays in any place, tell that person, can you pass through Hebrew just to collect something? They will tell you there are people who've been in Johannesburg maybe for 20 years, but they don't want to put their foot in Hebrew.
Because it's
Very dangerous. But I can tell you that we remove bodies, the midnight, whereby you hear gunshots, sometimes police chasing those guys with guns. But we just thank God because He always protect us, because we are saved to serve. Yeah.
Wow.
I know we've got some still incidents whereby they rob us our phones and so on, but we are used
Or you've
to.
had those situations.
No, I know in Johannesburg, I think so far, if I have to tell you the phones that these guys have robbed me or taken from me by force, maybe they are around
Also,
10.
they actually literally say, bring.
No, they just
keep
come
your
with
phone.
guns.
And they say, can I have the
Yeah,
phone?
but yeah, I that's what they do. Something that we encounter.
And you just surrender.
You give them
it to
the phone.
And then you go.
Yeah,
They
you
leave
go.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember another incident whereby we're removing. It was not in Zimbabwe, but it was, I think, Alexandra. It's a very populated area with sheikhs. in Shona we call it
What are shacks?
Shacks, squatter camp. Like.
Or the temporary, like wooden homes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For like poor people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we received a call that they wanted us to remove the body midnight. Then I had to call the backup, my guys. But some of them, they are scared because some of these things, they happen midnight.
Yes.
And if my drivers or the guys on the standby, they don't answer the phone, the pressure comes to me now.
Yes, so
then
you
I
have
said,
to literally
then I said,
get
I'll
up
go
and go.
with another guy, two of us. We'll go and remove the body. And then I was really scared, to be honest, that what is going to happen to us. Because they told us, guys, the place is very dangerous. You have to be careful. We tried to phone the police to accompany us, but police, they said, no, they can't do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moreboys, Mr. Munetsi, what I like about what you're saying, which is in alignment with emotional intelligence, is right now you've just said it's scary. And I get scared when I get called in because you know exactly, not only do you know exactly what goes on, you've been through it.
Yes.
And it's been traumatizing. However, with emotional intelligence, you can't run away from the feelings. You can't choose how you feel.
No.
But you've actually addressed the fact that you can identify your feelings, your emotions. Not only that, but you're able to manage them. Despite the fear, you actually get up and go. And what I like about the link between emotional intelligence and religion is the fact that because within your spirituality, you believe the Holy Spirit is giving you the courage to actually manage those emotions. So that's the second part of emotional intelligence, which is self-regulation. So you're regulating your emotions by getting up despite how you're feeling. Guess what? The third part is social awareness, where you're aware of the surroundings, the community around you. Nothing is going to be a shock, and how you manage them. That's actually very powerful, and you're highly emotionally intelligent just based on what I'm describing to you. Because, like, say for example, when you were talking about the fact that someone can just come, like pull the gun out and say, well, give me your phone. You've got that sense of awareness of the people around you. You know that that's what they do. Guess what? Calmly, you take your phone out and give them. Guess what? You safeguard yourself.
Of course.
And then guess what? The ultimate, the ultimate goal for that whole risk is you're helping the other people. Of course. I can imagine if I was in your position. I don't think I'll be able to do it if I'm honest, but of course. that social management, having an idea of how to make that impact within the community is the reason why we're here. And that's very powerful. Now,
I will just give you an example, especially on the community and how to manage the
emotions.
The emotions. Okay. When I went to South Africa, I was very young. To be honest, I did not manage to have time to spend with my parents and trying to adjust life in Zimbabwe and so on. So the time that I arrived in Cape Town, things were very difficult, to be honest. And I didn't have a brother, I didn't have a sister at that time. It was just by myself. And when I left Zimbabwe, I didn't tell anyone that I'm going to South Africa.
So you just left?
I just left out of frustration. But after I think a month, I sent an email to my late sister that, no, don't worry, I'm in Cape Town.
Hang on a minute, what was frustrating you? I like that emotion, out of frustration. I left
the situation in Zimbabwe, the economic situation.
Oh, so it was the hardships.
Yes, it has been my dream that I wanted to be a lawyer.
Right.
So when I was in Zimbabwe, when I was in Harare, when I don't have anything to do, I would wake up and go to Harare Magistrate Court, and I'll be just sitting there. And I can tell you that it took almost 20 years, 15 years maybe, for me to become a lawyer. But I can tell you that...
So did you train in Zimbabwe?
No. When I was in Zimbabwe, I went to SA without any qualification. I want to be honest with you. I went with 3 certificates O-level certificates.
Okay.
The other one was having 3 C's, another one 3 C's, another one with a B.
Yes.
But when I went back to South Africa, it's to say I had to restart, to start again, to do the matric, going to university, and to do other courses.
Wow. So you empowered yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
So where I'm going is, so the time that I arrived in Cape Town, things were also tough for us.
Yes.
But I had to push to make sure that, hey guys, no matter what comes, I have to work very hard.
Yes.
So I was staying with other guys from Zim. You know, we just met in Cape Town, and we become friends, we talk to each other and so on.
Oh boy.
Yes. But I can tell you that when you are safe to serve, you never have grudges with people.
Yes, 100%.
No, when you are staying with different people, you don't know their background, how they were raised. You are also coming from a Christian family. We had some issues with those guys when we were staying together. A lot of exchange of words. Sometimes they were complaining about food in the house, because the time that I was in Cape Town, I was not working. So these guys would complain and say, no, you must work. Hey, we are feeding you here, you are doing these stories, and so they were complaining too much about me.
Yes.
So to the extent that there's another day they even throw my clothes out of the and say, no, my man, we are tired of feeding you. It's time for you to leave.
And now they're your fans.
You know what happened?
Isn't it
after?
amazing? Yeah.
Yes. So after I moved from that squatter camp where I was staying with them, I found another job somewhere. When I got my first salary, I went to them, I bought groceries, and then I went with the food and give to those guys and said, guys, we are brothers. Let's eat together. And they were so shocked and said, but Mdara, we're treating you bad here in this house. We're saying a lot. Then I said, guys,
I'm saved to serve. I'm serving you now. Serve. Yeah.
Don't worry about the past.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's why you've seen with Great Hope, we normally assist some families.
Wow.
We have sent bodies from South Africa to Zimbabwe free of charge.
Oh, really?
I can tell you. And the good thing is that we still make money.
Oh.
So the job that we are doing, especially on the repatriation side, we are not driven by money. That no, we want to make money. It's the impact. Yes. I want to change the lives of people.
Yes. And you are doing that.
Yes.
It's clear from the testimonies. Yeah. I mean, if you look on the Great Hope page, there's a lot of people giving testimonies about how it's been of great help and how Mr. Munetsi, Moreboys, is meeting people at the point of need.
Of course.
Wow. 100%.
Yeah.
One of the questions I was going to ask you, whilst you were talking, it stood out for me. When you were talking about having to go and retrieve some gunshot dead people, does it not trigger some of the emotions from your own experiences? Do you feel like sometimes it sort of triggers, like that experience, which was the highlight of your life, where you were saved from death, where you resurrected?
As long as you are human, it will trigger.
Okay.
As long as you're human.
So how does the trigger come, as in?
It's. I can tell you the job that I do is really stressful.
Okay.
And it's not easy at all.
I bet it's
you start to think about these guys. They pointed their guns on my head and I survived, and this family is crying. They've lost a father, the breadwinner. Children, they don't have father anymore. Wife, the same as to the wife. The husband is gone. I can tell you, as long as you are human, there's nothing that is called you are used. You will never be used especially in the line of
what you do.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you just have to be strong.
Moreboys, you are strong.
Yeah. We get bodies every day. You see a situation that is worse than the previous day.
Oh dear.
So there's no time whereby we say, I know, because remember you're dealing with a new different family, a family that is mourning, And sometimes it's tough in the sense that even the clients, they attack us, they shout at us, they scream at us, they say a lot of bad things about us.
When you've actually gone to help them.
I can tell you that sometimes people, they don't appreciate.
Yes.
But the good thing is that we don't do our job for people to appreciate us.
Yes, because
we
you
just
know.
do.
Yes.
I can tell you that money is not enough to reward the job that we do.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And I believe that if I'm saved to save, I don't do something so that God can reward me now.
Yes.
Some things we just do.
Yes.
God will know when
Yeah.
and why He has to reward me. We just do it from our hearts.
What stood out for me as you're talking about this is you're an inspiration.
Yes.
I've personally learned from your story now
Yes.
that sometimes you don't have to have gone through a traumatizing event for you to discover the fact that you have a purpose in life.
Yeah.
You went through that. That's when you realize that whatever you're doing, God has a reason for you to continue living.
Yes.
Okay? We are living this life. We've just gone past lockdown. And I don't want to lie to you. It's not because we're clever that we're still alive, but the fact that we're here talking about life, trying to lift each other, or trying to inspire or motivate or encourage each other.
Yes.
I think each and every one of us has something that's God, that is the reason why God is keeping you alive. And whatever it is, it only takes a lot of reflection, a lot of conversations with yourself,
of course.
even if they're difficult conversations,
Yeah.
and a lot of courage whenever you've decided, you've discovered what it is that you want to do, but you're saved to serve, and you grow through what you go through.
I can tell you that the Lord has been so merciful to the Great Hope.
Wow.
When we started, we didn't have cars to repatriate bodies.
So what did you do?
We've got fleet of cars.
All right. Yeah.
If you have
now
to,
you've got that.
If you have to ask me how many cars, my brother asked me how many cars do you have? I don't know the number.
Really? Yeah.
And we've managed to create employment, like we can say 100 people.
Yes.
I'm talking to a company that has been operating fully operating for 2 years.
Yes.
And then someone posted something on my social page today that from Kailicha, I'm in UK now.
Yes.
I wasn't dreaming that one day I'll travel to
Is this your first time coming to England?
Yeah, it's my first time.
Welcome to England.
Thank you.
Honestly, I'm honored to have you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So someone just said, but you were in Kailicha staying in a squatter camp.
Yes.
Now you're in UK. Then he said to me, you are a testimony.
You are.
With God, all things are possible.
Wow.
So in terms of the combine, we are establishing ourselves in Lesotho, Botswana. We are also busy with the registration processes. We're in UK also to launch Great Hope. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank the Zimbabwean community in UK. They've been supporting us. Guys, every week we get recommendation. They are taking policies for their brothers, sisters in South Africa. So now they said, Great Hope, we want you in this country. That's why I'm here.
Oh, it is great hope, to be honest.
Yes.
We all have families back in Africa. And when tragedies like these happen, it's always nice to know that there are people who are sent directly from God to help and to give us that hope. And they do it seamlessly, calmly.
Yes.
And I've actually watched a lot of your videos live, and I've seen you talking to the families. And to me, I've always seen someone who's emotionally intelligent. No matter how angry the people you're dealing with
Yes.
are,
Yeah.
you're that sort of person who understands why they're going through what they're going through, which is a great aspect of emotional intelligence.
True.
Any
It's tough sometimes, like what I said. Sometimes I to drive a body from Cape Town, I have to take it to some places like Kokwe in Zimbabwe. I'll drive the body myself. You know, sometimes family members, they don't want to accompany the body. Now they are leaving it to me and say, no, on the day that the body is supposed to leave, they will tell, no, I won't be able to go. Then I'll ask my drivers, guys, can you drive this boat yourself to go? Then they said, no, I'm not going to do that. What if I am going to have a problem on the road? But I do take responsibility as the driver.
Yes.
They come and say,
Be the
I will
bigger
do
person,
it
yeah.
because I'm saved to
serve.
serve. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Moreboys.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Munetsi, the director of the Great Hope Funeral Services. It's been a pleasure to have you. Now, before you go,
Yes.
have you got any nuggets you've taken from the show, or any lessons or anything that you've taken away from this show? And
I can simply say, guys, you shouldn't give up in life. Don't always blame your parents. Don't always blame your background. Don't always blame your situation. If you want to be rich, you're going to be rich. If you make a decision that I want to be poor, you're going to be poor. And I believe that I've learned a lot of things today, and we are going to implement when I go back to Africa.
what? I'm the one who's learned a lot of things from today.
It's more on how to manage. Yeah, I know it's still difficult for us, considering the situations
Yes.
that we go through. But I like the point when you mentioned that, when you said that if you have got a passion for something,
Yes,
no matter what circumstances, like that example you gave of
Porter.
a porter, yeah, that as long as you are strong, it will never break.
Nothing will break you.
Yes.
And you will
So-
shine like a diamond, like you're doing.
Of course, because sometimes we reach some situations whereby you want to give up and say, guys, this is too much for me.
Yes.
But with what you have said from the example from the Bible, I'm much stronger than before.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you so much, Moreboys. I feel like going on and on. But anyway, thank you everyone for watching the show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Okay, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to have you, Mr. Munetsi.
Thank you. Safe to serve.
Yes, saved to serve. Bye.